All right, welcome back. Real quick, we're going to do a video about this exploding phones and pagers and radios and batteries and other things over in Middle East, Lebanon, and maybe in a couple in Syria here. So, just the other day, there was a thing happened where there was a bunch of pagers in Lebanon that exploded. Now, the original, TV story is, oh, hey, there's a bunch of pagers that belong to terrorists, and we got them to explode. Yeah, secret op, and pretty much on the news, they're gloating and being all happy about it. Sorry, these little crickets are going crazy. Hey, man, they're going crazy over there. Sorry, I gotta walk away from these little buddies. They're going crazy. So basically, on the news and I guess the Israeli TV and Middle Eastern TV, and even in here in America, they're like happy, like, oh, they're look at this operation was great. They're gloating because I guess coming up here soon they want to. I guess they're gonna have some type of military invasion. They're gonna go to Lebanon. They're gonna go up north because it's like a buffer zone. So they're one of the operations was to have all these pagers and stuff go off. This is what they're saying. I'm not making this up. This is what they have all these pagers and stuff go off pre the invasion or whatever type of military operation they're going to do. But the, I guess, U.S. military carrier that was in the area, the aircraft carrier left because, I mean, they can't stay there forever. And I guess they felt like, hey, maybe we've got to use it now because we're going to do something. But they still have to take back the 10-kilometer buffer zone in the north of the country that is completely just empty because of all the attacks and everything and all the civilians and all the, I guess, other military people live there because it's a military town. They're living in central Israel, and they're living in central Israel, not in the the 10-kilometer wide buffer zone at the top of the country because of the whole military situation going on there. So they used these pagers, they blew them up, or they had them go off or whatever to try to, I guess, soften the blow or try to make it easier when they do this invasion. But a lot of people are concerned because they're trying to figure out, well, how did they do this? How is this possible? So from what I've been able to gather, Security Guy 42 did a really great video. He looked at I guess he spoke to some other EOD people that are on the ground there in Lebanon because he's a combat engineer himself, and some of the other shows that I've been listening to, another gentleman from Lebanon. So what the whole thing is, they intercepted a shipment because there's a Taiwanese company that makes them. They were going to ship them to Lebanon, and apparently, so a company in Europe wanted to subcontract, like, no, we'll make them, just give us all the stuff, we'll make them over here. And I guess what I found from the other show that I was listening to is the guy was saying, hey, we're going to subcontract them. And so basically Israel, I guess the whatever Mossad went to this company and through that company tried to super make up and give up a reason that, oh yeah, let us do it. No, don't send them directly from you. Send it to us, let us, subcontract. So they subcontract and they intercepted a shipment of all these different electronics. And from Security Guy 42, apparently they put this explosive material, PTEN, around the battery. And so it doesn't look like any different. Or like in some of them, and from the other show that I found out, they super lithiumed up the battery. So whenever it did go off, it would be crazy lithium, crazy burns, and an explosion. So that an extra lithiumed up battery, from what this one gentleman was saying, and from Security Guy 42 found out, they put a bunch of that stuff all over the battery, so that whenever this signal go out, because they use pagers in all these different countries, because I mean, people are concerned about data, people are concerned about being tracked, people are concerned about the government finding your stuff, the government doing this and that. So in the West, they'll say, oh, I'm just going to get an older phone, because a lot of the older phones don't have all those capabilities. Well, in this country, they're using pagers and landlines because they're in an active war zone. So you want to actually use landlines, so you don't have to encrypt, you don't have to do all this thing, because they have to be able to tap in to the actual landline, blah, blah, blah. Now, what I used to do, again, I have a little bit of understanding and expertise in this field, right? So what they did was, then the radio signal went off, a certain call went to those phones, right? So when a certain radio signal would go to those radios or those beepers or those fucking pagers, excuse me, I don't mean to curse there, but then it would go off. A lot of them weren't turned on. I guess it was off or didn't charge, so those didn't go off. So multiple thousands went off. And the people in America and all these different places that are happy about this, like, oh yeah, we got all the terrorists, yeah, we blew up their phones, because again, Security Guy 42 said, a lot of people have done this already in different types of operations before. It's nothing new. I mean, they even have it in a video game, a Grand Theft Auto video game, where replace some guy's phone and he's doing a news conference and it blows up in his face, like on the news conference in front of the whole nation, and it's like, oh yeah, that was the mission or whatever. So again, this isn't like a concept that's new or anything, but to see it on this mass scale is like what people are saying, it's an act of supreme, super duper terrorism. But again, that's up for people's interpretation of blowing up phones and stuff. But again, I'm recording this on my phone. I don't want it to blow up in my face, so that's my issue with it, right? So a lot of people in the West are saying, oh, hey, we only did these phones, we only did these. I'm like, well, how do you know? Again, how do you know who was going to have it at any given time, especially when they didn't do it when they thought it was going to be done? Now, again, you can, try to argue whether or not, hey, this is a moral act because, my religion or my political thing or my election is coming up, so we need to do my thing, or I'm very unpopular because of corruption, so we need to do my invasion because, don't look at how much I've ruined the country. Well, we need to do this other thing, all that other stuff. So you're going to be, now you've looped yourself into a silly conversation, and now you blew up a bunch of beepers and pagers and phones and radios and car batteries and all this other stuff, because there's reports of a lot of things going off. Because if you were in a vehicle, or you're in something else, or you were next to something, and then you're riding a bike, or you're doing all this other stuff, and then it goes off, it can make something else go off. So again, there's all these different things. Little kids, oh, Dad, can I play with your phone? Or can I play with the little thing? And because they like it. It has little signals and little beepy things, and kids think that's funny, and then the kids have it and all this stuff. So all types of people had it. Like there was one guy was in a supermarket, in a store, standing next to a bunch of people, and it goes off, and some people say, oh, well, we just got to do it, that's the price of this, that's the price of that. Okay, well, remember, this is the same individuals, literally the same group that goes after a lot of these so-called tough guy conservatives and all these other fake political people in America. Yeah, and then maybe some type of election or something's coming up where if it doesn't go the way that you want, or maybe you're talking a certain type of way before that election goes off, maybe they make your phone do a little trick. So that maybe that one day, right before the election, there's 100 million less people who disagree with them. So again, I would not always sit there and super duper laugh it up and be like, oh, this is great, any form of terrorism is great, because then whoever you're going against, or the people that you're on the side of, they're going to escalate with you because they got beef with you too, because you like this thing called freedom of speech and Second Amendment, right? So make sure that whenever you're cheering on acts of terrorism done by your group of people, that it doesn't come back to haunt you, because they're not actually on your side either. That's my opinion on the whole beeper thing, the whole radio thing. Like I could offer like a military style analysis, but again, I have to do an actual video with maps and the computer and everything. I got to set all that stuff up. But this is just my little initial video on it. It seems kind of like a ridiculous thing to do, especially because it's unfortunate that some innocent people passed away. But like I said, if you're doing that type of stuff, that's not the move. I'm just gonna say it right there. I mean, you can say whatever you want. I'm not like a political type of person, because all that stuff is fake anyway. But again, now that's the level that the people that you also don't like are going to escalate to, and that isn't just some foreign people in another place to speak a different. No. That was instituted by a large corporation. So now this Taiwanese company is trying to sue Israel for billions of dollars. Like, you made our product look like they're going to blow up and murder people because you did all this stuff. Who knows what type of stuff is out there? Who knows what they really ever done? So that's my opinion, because again, who knows what they could do for stuff that's already out there. Again, I know a little bit about electronics. I may have, done some stuff in the U.S. military about electronics and, fixing computers, fixing satellites, and all these other top secret things, I do the electronics, so no matter what you work on or what type of thing you do, if you don't understand how to physically fix the electronics that are broken, I mean, that's where I come in, because then I show up and I fix it, or one of my Marines will come up and grab it and then bring it back to our shop, or you can fix it on the spot. But we also have to know how to use it, or how it works, digital logic and all these other things, in order to be able to pass just the basics, the school after boot camp and after, MCT and all this other stuff. You go to electronics school, and that's like 10 months long, and you have 12-hour classes every day, on top of PT and all this other stuff. So, very intensive schedule. You learn a lot. Needless to say, I say that to say this: they have signals go out that can activate other things in your phone that may not have been on the original list of features when you go to the iPhone shop, or the little AT&T shop, or the beeper store, or the radio store, or the this, or the that, or, hey, aren't you guys driving Teslas with massive batteries underneath? Oh man, is that a mushroom cloud over there? Yeah, so be careful what you cheer for and what you're clapping up out there, because, again, they're doing more attempts on the former President Donald Trump, whatever you feel about that guy, whatever you feel about any of these other people, now that type of stuff is being normalized. Escalation, escalation, escalation. It's so cool because this helps my one political guy while everybody else in the world is now has exploding phones like it's Grand Theft Auto 5. So what do you all think about this situation? What do you think about people cheering on exploding devices while typing on a device probably 6 inches from their face, talking about how it's a good idea with it 6 inches from their face? You know what I mean? So like I said, like, share, and subscribe. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Got more videos coming later. Got a lot of stuff going on. Been a little bit busy. I'm going to try to do a couple before I do this next deal going on. And once I'm done with it, I'll definitely let you know. I'll film some videos and you guys can check it out later. Oh, check this out before it gets too dark. Yeah. This little buddy right here.